Sarah stood in the middle of her apartment, her breathing uneven and sharp, like her lungs were trying to catch a rhythm that didn't belong to her. The silence in the building was the kind that didn't wait for anyone. It swallowed sound before it even formed. Every time she blinked, she remembered the moment from the silent room, the way the darkness inside it had shifted like water disturbed by a whisper. She brushed her hair back, her fingers trembling. The entire apartment felt wrong, not haunted, not creepy, but aware, as if it had woken up from a long sleep and was now watching her with a slow, patient curiosity. She moved through the hallway cautiously, touching the wall with the back of her knuckles. The surface was warmer than it should have been, almost like touching skin. She froze. The wall pulsed beneath her knuckles, not a vibration, not a tremor, a pulse, slow, rhythmic, alive. Her eyes widened. She pressed her palm gently against the wall and instantly felt it. A heartbeat. Deep, powerful, and steady, echoing through the structure like the building had grown a heart of its own. The pulse grew stronger as if responding to her touch, and the wall swelled outward slightly under her hand. She stumbled back, shaking, and stared at the place where she had touched. The paint shifted, then stretched, then breathed. The wall expanded outward, inhaling silently, and then deflated with a warm, eerie exhale that brushed across Sarah's cheeks like a living thing. A whisper came with the breath, faint, layered, as if it belonged to multiple voices speaking at the same time. She couldn't make out the words, but the sorrow in them was unmistakable. Sarah's chest tightened. It felt like the building was crying through its walls. She backed away, but the wall moved again, a swelling bulge pushing outward from the inside, forming the faint shape of a hand pressing through. 5 fingers, a palm, a trembling push as if someone inside the wall was begging to escape. The drywall cracked faintly, dust falling in tiny cascades. Sarah clamped her hand over her mouth, but couldn't stop watching. The fingers pressed harder. The palm pushed deeper. A faint groaning sound echoed behind the plaster, like wood bending under unbelievable weight. Suddenly the shape disappeared, sucked back inside like something had yanked it away. The wall flattened. And then it exhaled again. This time, the breath was warm enough to feel human. Sarah choked on her scream. She stumbled backwards, nearly tripping over her carpet. The floor vibrated faintly beneath her feet, not shaking, pulsing. The heartbeat in the wall had spread into the floorboards, traveling through them like a living root system. Sarah pressed her foot down gently, and the wood responded by lifting ever so slightly, as though swelling under pressure. A soft grunt-like sound echoed from deep below, something pushing, trying, struggling. She spun toward the kitchen when she heard the next sound. Knocking. But not from the door, not from the ceiling, not from the silent room. This knock came from inside the wall behind her, 3 sharp hits that echoed like fist pounding from a place no one should exist. Sarah screamed and backed into the living room couch, her body trembling, as she watched the wall directly across from her begin to darken, not with shadow, but with some presence. Something pressing through the paint in slow motion. Lines formed first, like veins, then bumps, then long, thin impressions dragging across the surface like fingers scraping from the inside. Her breath faltered. The wall scraped again, slow, deliberate. Words began carving themselves onto the paint, deep strokes like fingernails etching through layer after layer. Don't trust the door. Sarah stared at the message, her heart pounding so violently she thought her ribs would crack. She turned her head toward the hallway slowly, terrified to look, but needing to. Down the hallway, the silent room door sat in darkness. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, tap, tap, tap. The door trembled, just slightly, like someone inside was knocking with a single finger, calling her, inviting her. Sarah stopped breathing entirely, her ears strained, listening to every shift, every creak, every whisper hidden in the building's bones. The hallway lights flickered, casting long, stretched shadows that twisted unnaturally over the floor like living things. The entire building seemed to inhale at once. And from the silent room, a long, slow,